Morning, everyone. It's June the 20th. Getting ready for summer. And as you probably, if you live anywhere in the western part of the United States, you are definitely knowing that it's summer. It is hot. Hit 104, 105 here in El Paso yesterday. So it's supposed to be another hot one today. So I'm trying not to have this update be too long. But we do have some updates. Here's my Aquaponics. I did get the swirl filter going. It's working very well. But if you remember, I had some spinach plants that I had transplanted into my Aquaponics grow container, the new one that I have running. They did not survive. Good news is I'm not sure what it is. I think it might be a cucumber plant that just popped up, and the seedling popped up maybe 4 days ago, so this isn't bad. More good news is the chili plant had lost all of its leaves, but as you can see, they've almost all grown back. Even got some little chili pepper pods getting ready to flower. But we've got a lot of little leaves coming back. I removed the plastic window covers from this section in order to let the natural sunlight in. The asparagus are still doing their thing. In fact, they seem to be spreading. This is all new growth right here. They've all popped up. Now, I haven't seen anything that resembles anything that I would like to eat, because they're all very, very small plants. So it's more like something that would be growing, in a swampy area. But as long as something's growing, I'm pretty happy. I am going to get some new seeds started, and as soon as I got some sprouts, I'll try again. I'm going to try with some more spinach in here. Spinach seems to grow very quick, and hopefully it's not too hot, because the problem that ends up happening with this kind of heat is a lot of the plants, they go to flower just way too quick, and before the plant has developed much for eating. This was my sump tank, and I don't know if you saw the last time. I've got I got the 5 surviving goldfish, and they've got to be well over 2 years old. Pretty big. They all are at least 4 inches long. And I went to the pet store, got some more feeders, dumped them in there. So I've got about 15, 20 goldfish in there. So they're doing their job. And the water's very clear. So my swirl filter is doing very well. In fact, I'm probably going to have to shut everything down and clean it. Because if you've seen what I've done is I've added a couple filters, physical foam filters, to the mix. So you see how one side's clear. This is water going into the system, and this is catching all of the muck. Let me pause now and I'll show you the rest of my container garden. Okay, we're over here to the coffin garden, and things continue progressing here. Pretty much pulled out all of the carrots. I think I only have like 1 or 2 carrots in here, and they're the smallest plants. But I've pulled all the rest out and either eaten them or chopped them up and frozen them when they're in the freezer, because they were all getting ready to flower, and I didn't want to compromise the taste of the vegetables. Not sure if that happens with carrots, but with most other vegetables, as soon as they flower, they don't taste too hot. These here are some basil, and not planted. They're just leftover seeds, I assume, from last season. along with these. This is celery. Got quite a few celery plants growing. This here is my last remaining lettuce plant, and it is flowering, and I did want it to flower because I don't have any lettuce seeds. But that provided me with quite a few leaf lettuce salads. It looks like my cucumber plants are finally they're flowering, and they're finally starting to look alive here. I believe these are all more celery plants. This is a weed. This last my cilantro, and I'm hoping that they got a bunch of seeds here. I'm going to try to just hopefully they drop right here, and so I can grow some more cilantro. Moving on. Here's my that container that I've been growing most of my carrots in. As you can see, they're doing very well. I mean, they're nice and bushy, as well as the potatoes. I hope that means that by the end of the year, end of the growing season, I should have a whole bunch of potatoes in there. On to here. I have some beets growing. And a few new, I think this here is a new spinach, as well as this and this. The spinach plant doesn't seem to be doing too well. Neither one of those. And I think the problem was that I hit them with some compost tea, and it might have been burn the plants, because the leaves have been turning like that. But if they don't survive, it'll just make room for a new plant. Onions are doing well. And these are my pepper plants. These are jalapenos here, and this one's got some that are almost ready to be pulled. This is already green. I mean red. This is full of red peppers. I have to pull those pretty soon. And I got a whole bunch of jalapenos on here. Got a few on here. In this container, some more potatoes and some asparagus. And this is my tomato plant. It's been doing pretty well. I've been pulling off 2 or 3 tomatoes about every 3 or 4 days. And here's my strawberry plant that keeps producing. I kind of wish I would have gotten a few more of these. But as you can see, there's one right there. It's ready to be eaten. On my habanero, this little bush is full of habanero peppers. So here's like 4 right there. The poblanos are doing well. That's a good size. I've got 4 on here. This is another one of those grow containers that the asparagus seems to be doing really well. Also have potatoes in there. Just kind of waiting for these asparagus to do something. They just seem to be really thin and wiry. If you know anything about asparagus, I'd appreciate any information that you have. Leave a comment for me. Help guide me. In this other container here, I've got some more, I believe that they are all, these 4 plants are either eggplant or zucchini. And here are my last 2 carrots. I let this one flower, so I kind of want to see what it does. See if it drops a bunch of that one flower that well, I thought was a flower ended up being a whole bunch of flowers, maybe a couple hundred flowers. I haven't seen any seeds drop yet, but it looks like it's getting pretty close. Pull back for this tomato plant, which is doing pretty well. Even though it hasn't been, I've got a lot of flowers, but so far I've just had 2 tomatoes. They're pretty good size, but they're still green. They seem to be taking their time. And then back over here, this is my Serrano pepper plant that's been producing a lot. I've been able to pull off about 2 or 3 every couple days. As you can see, it continues to flower, so I'm pretty happy. Onto my other container here, producing some zucchini. I've pulled off about 3 before they start withering. They haven't been that big, but these are some of the biggest ones I've seen so far. Like this one here, I'm probably going to pull off, help these others get some size. And this is an eggplant. I'm waiting for that to produce. Once again, I think they're being affected by the heat. I'm trying to keep them very well watered, but you know, the plants don't like extreme weather changes and this 100+ degree temperature, the temperatures that we've been experiencing the last couple days. They are not that happy. Onto my nectarine tree. They all continue to grow. These 2 are probably the oldest. I mean, this thing's pretty laden down. I haven't had any fall off, and hopefully we're done with all the high winds. So I'm just keeping this very, very well watered. I mean, I'm probably dropping about minimum 20 gallons of water into this tree every day. If I remember, I try to water in the evening and in the morning, so I try to give it about 40 gallons, but I'm giving it a minimum of 20. It seems to be working because they're all growing pretty well. And then finally over here, the rest of my pepper plants. These are the dragon cayenne. I was noticing this morning, this guy has a bunch of flowers. Looks like he's being attacked and eaten by something. And that's bad news. Good news is, seems to be leaving this one alone, which is another dragon cayenne, which is full of peppers. So I'm willing to give up 1 plant in order to save the others. This is the other dragon cayenne. It's got lots of little peppers on there. Oop, that's a little wasp. I've been noticing a lot more wasps than bees this year. As long as they don't sting me and they do their pollination thing too, that seems fine to me. These 2 plants here, which I'm going to be replanting to larger planters here in the next couple days. These are what are they called? Cowhorn chili peppers. Supposed to be kind of spicy, and both of these plants are full. My only worry, like I said, is these containers they were in much smaller containers when I first bought them, but I want to move them into larger containers like these. Give them more room to grow, because they have a lot of peppers on them. And then finally, this guy keeps surviving, though